Avengers Infinity War was incredible, but it left us with a lot of questions. Why didn't Thor just aim for the head? What were Groot's final last words? And what happened to Scarlet Witch's Sokovian accent?
Everybody's afraid of something.
Today I'm going to answer all these questions and more, as I run down 10 questions that fans had after leaving Avengers Infinity War. Let's jump right into the first burning question about why Thor aimed for the chest instead of going for the kill shot, which as we know is usually in the head. According to co-director Joe Russo, Thor didn't go for the head because he wanted to tell Thanos that he got his revenge for killing his friend Heimdall and his brother Loki in the first act of the movie. Before Heimdall died, he was able to summon the last of his dark magic and send Bruce Banner to Earth. Loki, the god of mischief, tries to trick Thanos by pledging his undying loyalty, only to try and stab Thanos through the neck with a blade that he was concealing. Just before he dies, he tells Thanos he will never be a god. So Thor wanted to get up close and personal and look Thanos in the eyes after he defeated him and remind him of his promise, rubbing it in as it were. So that's why he didn't immediately go for the kill shot. Unfortunately it backfired, however. Number 2, why was the Red Skull the gatekeeper of the Soul Stone on Vormir? As the Red Skull himself explains to Thanos, he once sought the power of the stones and even held the Space Stone in his hands, only for it to cast him out and banish him to Vormir, cursing him to guide others to a treasure he cannot possess. It's very interesting to note that he said that the Space Stone cast him out, and in fact banished him to Vormir, which tells us a few very interesting facts. Firstly, that Infinity Stones are sentient. They are essentially alive as they were able to make choices. The Space Stone didn't just send the Red Skull anywhere, it sent him to Vormir. And knowing that the Infinity Stones are sentient gives us a whole new perspective on how everything may play out in the end. The Russo brothers further explain why they used the Red Skull. A character who has been trapped, the Red Skull, has been turned into this wraith who now guards the Soul Stone and distributes the rules to whoever shows up there trying to obtain it. It felt like there was more credibility than just a random character. Somebody who has a history with the stones may seem like they have a little bit more authority in terms of their experience, especially a tragic experience.
Need to save the world? Does it make you an Avenger now as well? I don't know, I hope. Maybe like a third string Avenger, yeah. I was one of the founding members, so. Yeah, thank you. Oh, so he's huge.
Now on to questions 3, 4, and 5 because they all have the same answer. Why does the usually red-haired Natasha Romanoff have blonde hair? Why does Cap have a beard? And why did Scarlet Witch lose her Sokovian accent? Well, the answer is all the same. All three of them were on the wrong side of the Sokovia Accords and didn't want to register with the government, so they are essentially fugitives. Cap and Widow were fighting terrorists in Syria secretly who were trying to buy Jatauri weapons, and Wanda has of course been cozying up to Vision in Scotland. The director further clarified this by saying, "We have intentionally tried to strip that accent away for a couple reasons. One is that you'll notice at the beginning of Civil War that Black Widow is training her to be a spy, and 2 is that she's been on the run. And one of the most distinguishing characteristics is that of her accent. So if you're going to try and disguise yourself or hide yourself or not be caught, you're going to try and limit those trigger warnings that could make it easy for someone to identify you, which would be inclusive of her accent. Clearly Black Widow as a redhead is an incredibly distinguishing characteristic for her, which is why she has blonde hair. We've seen Chris Evans walk around in public with a beard and no one even recognizes him. There are simple things that you can do to your appearance that take about 90% of your visibility away, and for us it was very intentional that we would just keep stripping that accent down to show her acclimating and hiding." And now for questions 6 and 7, because they are also closely related. Why was the Infinity Gauntlet damaged after Thanos snapped his fingers and destroyed half of all life? And was he in fact speaking to Gamora's soul in the soul world? The directors say, "I think it's a reflection of Gamora's spirit, and the power required to use all the stones at once is so significant that it sends Thanos into the stream state." You'll notice his arm is damaged post the snap, and the gauntlet is damaged post the snap. It's the incredible energy required from it, and only because of his strength, he is able to survive. So the snap was so powerful that the gauntlet couldn't handle it, resulting in his arm and the gauntlet being damaged, which is clearly going to be an important story point in Avengers 4. Regarding Thanos and Gamora talking in the Soul World, The directors had this to say: "It's in the Soul Stone. It's an orange world that they're in. Yeah, it's implied that it's the Soul Stone. It's orange all around. Then he's inside the stone with the amount of power that it took to snap his fingers. So is Gamora in the Soul World in the Soul Stone?" She is in fact in the Soul World, yes. And the next burning question is, why was Captain Marvel not in the movie? The directors say that they had actually never planned to include Captain Marvel despite the rumors. They wanted to save her reveal and didn't want to jump ahead in the story, and had always planned to end the movie after Thanos snapped his fingers with him looking at the sunset smiling. They even considered not putting her in the post-credit scene, but they felt that the ending of the movie, being basically the death of half the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was a little bit too brutal, and they needed a moment of hope to bring some balance. On to the second last burning question. Is Adam Warlock, who was teased at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, gonna be in Avengers 4? After all, he was a very important part of the Infinity Gauntlet comic. Ultimately, he defeated Thanos, dropping him off on an isolated planet to be a farmer. He even wielded the Infinity Gauntlet himself. Well, the answer according to the directors is a definite no. The director stated that it's a James Gunn thing, who's the director of Guardians, and that Adam Warlock will be a big part of Guardians 3. In fact, they never even considered putting Adam Warlock in the movie, because he has no connection to Thanos, and it would have felt forced to include him. And the final question is the saddest of the bunch. After the snap, we saw many of our heroes cease to exist. Each death was tragic, and there wasn't a dry eye in the theater. One death was particularly heart-wrenching, and it's about to get more heart-wrenching. What did teenage Groot say to Rocket as he was fading away? Groot, of course, to our ears, only says, "I am Groot." But this was translated for us by director James Gunn. He said his final words were, or rather his final word was, "Dad." Rocket, of course, is a father figure to Groot, and this just makes that scene ever more powerful. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it and then share it. And don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss out on any Crafty Media content. I'm also on pretty much all the social media platforms at Crafty Media Co. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers for now.